Well, that wraps up round 8. We saw an honourable effort from Melbourne, who challenged Sydney at the SCG. Melbourne are proving they're not as bad as some people predicted them to be. And the Expansion Cup didn't quite live up to what it normally does or live up to the hype. Gold Coast Suns winning that game in that one. But without further ado, let's get into reviewing those two games right now. And then also at the end, we'll have a look at the ladder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining you as always is your host, and we'll do it again. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining you as always is your host, Chendy Alton, and some of you might know me as Tricky. And yes, this is a review episode, and we're reviewing all of the Sunday games. Just 2 Sunday games this week. Obviously, we saw a big haul in one of them, and we saw the Expansion Cup. Before we get into that, make sure you like and comment on this video if you're watching this on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button as well and turn the notification bell on so then you're notified whenever we upload. You don't have to keep looking. You get that notification straight away. If you're listening to this via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a like and comment on this episode. Hit that follow button, turn notification bell on so you're notified whenever we upload. Share this off to a mate, and please, guys, remember to leave a 5-star rating on the show, as that does help get the show out there. Now let's kickstart it with Sydney and Melbourne on Sunday, and it was Sydney getting the job done over the Demons, but a high-scoring game, and the Demons continuing their fun, exciting play. I'm truly thinking that we could see them wildcard weekend, or maybe not even make wildcard. They go even further than that. 19-17, 131, the Swans defeating 17-12, 114. But it was all about Malcolm Rosas. 7 goals for Malcolm Rosas Jr., 5 goals in the first half. Now, I don't know if I've said it on this podcast before, like on the actual pod, but I've always been a fan of Malcolm Rosas. There was games where he'd kick like bags of 3 for the Gold Coast Suns and showed a little bit of life down that forward line. And he's actually the second ranked small forward in the competition behind the Wizard Watson. And he's the number 1 kick in the competition. And 7 goals straight just illustrates of what a good player and good season he is having. And one that Gold Coast Suns would have loved to keep onto it, because they haven't really got that small forward type of player. That, yes, they've got Bailey Humphrey, but he's not your small forward. He's your impact and goes into the midfield. Ben Long plays tall. They haven't really got that ideal small forward, but they just weren't playing Malcolm Rosas. Sydney Swans saw it. Obviously, Tom Papley isn't getting any younger, getting older into the back end of his career. Possibly they see Malcolm Rosas as that replacement, only 24 years old. So they saw the opportunity to pounce on him, and that's exactly what they did, and it's paying dividends. It's 13 goals for the season now. Obviously, 7 goals does help that, but he was nearly averaging a goal a game just prior to this game as well. So what he provides is a bit of X factor, a bit of speed, and a bit of class. Finishes off his chances in front of goal, but also sets up players too. So it was all about Malcolm Rosas, this one, as it was the Amati party. Now, if you've been a fan of this show and listened to it since it's been started a couple of years ago, you know this Joel Amati has a soft spot in the hearts of the Up the Guts podcast. Had a whole segment around him, and the Amati party kicked 4 and kicked the sealer when the Melbourne just looked like they were starting to hunt back, and he just went back and kicked it. Couldn't have been anyone else. McDonald also kicked 3. As for Melbourne, I actually think Harry Sharp's been a decent pickup for the Demons. Coming across from Brisbane Lions, just wasn't able to get a game. What we knew about Harry Sharp is he's an elite runner, but we didn't get to see what he has done at Melbourne is he's impacted the scoreboard in most games, I want to say. He'd be closing up to double-figure goals this season. I won't even bother checking that, but I just know he's averaging like a goal a game. Not getting as much disposals, playing that wing half forward on, but runs all day, an elite runner. I think he's been a decent pickup for them. Cozzy Pickett copped the tag from James Jordan, but was very, very respectable, especially later in the game when he built into it. He kicked 2 goals. Van Rooyen also kicked 2. Gorn with Brody Mychek going down with a hamstring when was it? Something a hamstring. It was about the first or second quarter, and that forced Max Gawn to play a bit more forward. And while Brodie Grundy definitely got the chocolates in the ruck, we're starting to see the last 2 weeks at least that Max Heath is a very handy second ruck and someone who can stand in there and allow Gawn to play forward as he gets older, 35 years old at the moment. I want to say I always go 1 year too much. 34 years old, so 35 this year. With Max Heath there showing that he can play it. I know Brodie Grundy dominated in the ruck in his milestone 200, 250. But if we have a look at Max Heath's stats as well, I thought he was honourable. And last week he was too. So we'll go this week and we'll go last week. Max Heath had the 16 hit out and also kicked a goal. And then last week, if we go round 7, go over to Melbourne. Over here. Last week, he also had 26 hit-outs and 8 disposals. So not shooting the lights out, but definitely holding his own. So that's definitely an option. But the only reason he was forced to play that full-time ruck is because Mychek went down forward and they needed someone to partner up with Jacob Van Rooyen, who's still developing, but is starting to show some more signs that everyone has expected him to show at Melbourne. So they definitely needed that. And with Max Heath stepping up, he just wasn't getting to go at St Kilda. He was able to allow Gawn to go forward. Gawn is not a natural forward, but he did kick 2. And what you know about Gawn, he'll try his hardest. He's a really good mark. His set shot's always been a question, but 2 goals today was a really good effort from him. As for disposals, Isaac Heaney continues his great season. Hopefully he can keep his body fit, because if he can keep his body fit, there's no reason why he won't be one of the top finishers in the Brownlow medal count this year. Him, Petrarca, John Newcombe will probably come with us, Storm. Cosy Pickett if Melbourne win. I'm not sure. That's just putting it out there, but I don't know who would be. The only reason I'd put him out there, if Melbourne win games, I don't see who's stealing votes off him. But Heaney, 33, 2 goal assists and 8 score involvements. McInerney continues, 29, a goal, 11 score involvements and 5 clearances. Nick Blakey, 29, 7 score involvements. And we mentioned Brodie Grundy in his milestone game, 26 disposals, 45 hitouts, a goal, 12 score involvements and 11 clearances. Now, the big question is, who is the All-Australian ruckman as we speak? I know it's very early, but is it Gawn, is it Grundy, or is it Jackson? I think there's 3 that you're picking out of. Tristan Cherry has that time to work his way back into it, but I think they're the 3. If you were starting a team next week, who are you taking? Are you taking Brodie Grundy? Are you taking Luke Jackson? Or are you taking Max Gawn? Let me know in the comments below. We move down here. Mills was also exceptional, 26, 85% efficiency, 11 marks and 7 intercepts. Now, Melbourne didn't have many big disposal getters. So when I see that, I haven't actually looked at, I want to compare the disposals. So, oh no, wrong game. I'm on the Richmond game. We go to round A. I want to see the disposals difference, because the highest disposal getters were Pickett and Solstrip from Melbourne, but they only had 22. So let's have a look. Yes. So Sydney smashed them in disposals, 425 to 338. So that does make a lot more sense now. But Solstrip, who's starting to play a bit more half-back now, had started off playing a tag in midfield, now playing half-back. 22 disposals, 10 rebound 50s, and 643 metres gain. Does take the kick-ins too. Not a great user of the footy, must I say, but he's a big kick too. Langdon also had 22, 17 sets. Another one is playing a bit more halfback, rather mixing between halfback and wing, but looking like it's more halfback this season. Cosy Pickett, 22, 2 goals, 10 score involvements, 8 clearances, 6 tackles, and 569 metres gained. That's a tick for Cosy Pickett in his first time, probably properly getting tagged there. But it was all about Malcolm Rosas this game. What a star performance that was. 7 goals. How many goals can he kick for season? I'm not sure, but that if he's going to put in performances like that, even 2 or 3 a game sometimes, he doesn't even need to come up and kick another 4 or 5. If he just does his role, kick a goal a game, then Sydney have definitely won this trade between them. And also you mentioned Brodie Mychek with the hamstring injury. But let's head over to the other game between the Gold Coast Suns and the Giants. And a bit of a snooze fest, this one. Wet conditions over in the Gold Coast. But it was Gold Coast who got their first win over over the Giants since 2021, and they did this by a tune of 20 points. 11-17, 83, defeated 8-15, 63. Goal kickers, good to see Ugo Hagen having an impact. He kicked 3. King kicked 2. Petrarca also kicked 2. As for the Giants, Cadman kicked 2. Noble was amazing. 35, a goal, 12 marks, 8 rebound 50s, and 827 metres gain. As was Petrarca, and continue his form. Will be up there in Brownlow medal count if, again, like Heaney, if he stays fit or stays injury-free. 29, 2 goals, 2 goal assists, 9 score runs, 6 clearances. The only question is, when Noah Anderson starts finding feet, if he does again, are they going to have too many stars to still vote for each other? That's the only question that would be there. Anderson, as we mentioned, 27 disposals, 82% efficiency, and 1 goal. And one that's sneaking under the radar who's having a good season is Bodie Yulin, 26 disposals at 96% efficiency and 13 marks. Clayton Oliver's definitely well and truly back. I don't want to say he's back at that Melbourne form when he was at his prime, but he's working that way again. 32, 9 clearances, and 9 score runs. Whitfield had 30 disposals, 80% efficiency, 8 rebound 50s, 7 score runs, 636 metres gain. It was interesting to see Lockie Ash play a bit more midfield time. So while he had 29 touches, we're used to seeing him have 29 and 80 plus disposal efficiency. This time he only earned it 61, was it? Let's have a look. It was something along those lines. 61. We get this here. 69%. He went at 69% efficiency. That's not something that we are used to, but still with the 29 disposals. Because if we look here, he attended 14 centre bounces and had the 3 clearances as well. So looking to move him more into a midfield, looking at something different, I think, there at the Giants. I thought that was quite interesting. Callahan also had 28, 10 score onwards, 7 clearances and 6 tackles. But I don't think there's not much to talk about this game other than it was good to see Ugo Hagen back playing footy and marking balls and kicking goals. So that's all for the Sunday games. Now let's go ahead and have a look at the ladder after round 8. All right, after round 8, I can say the ladder, as we pull it up now, the top 6 as we speak is on top of the ladder. Is the Sydney Swans on top with Fremantle in second place, both of them on 28 points. Percentage-wise, the Swans are 165.5 and the Fremantle 133. That's the only thing splitting him. Hawks are in third place on 26 points. Then 4th to 7th are all on 20 points. So 4th is the Brisbane Lions, the Gold Coast Suns, and Geelong and Melbourne. 8th is Collingwood on 18 points after the draw. 9th all the way to 12th or on 16 points. So 9th, who would be playing wildcard weekend, is the Saints, and North would also be playing, just hanging in there. 11th is the Adelaide Crows, and the Western Bulldogs is 12th. 13th and 14th are Port Adelaide and the Jerry West Giants on 12 points. West Coast Eagles are in 15th on 8. Carlton, Essendon, and Richmond are 16th, 17th, and 18th on 4 points. But that's the review of the round 8, all of the Sunday games. Thank you guys for watching and listening along. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure to leave a like and comment on this video. Hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you notify whenever we upload. If you're listening to this via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please make sure to leave a like and comment on this episode. Hit that follow button, turn notification bell on so you notify whenever we upload. Share this off to a mate. And please, guys, remember to leave a 5-star rating on the show, as that does help push the show out there to newer listeners. If you want to see all the clips from the show, all the news, all the edits, whether it's footy or local footy or just me talk absolute dribble about footy, make sure you're following all our socials, Instagram and TikTok at @UpTheGuts_. And you can find us on Facebook as well. Just search Up The Guts and we'll be the top one there. Thank you guys for listening and watching along. And until next time, I'll see you guys then.